Kaiju Labs Media South by Southwest 2021 virtual coverage. And while Jessica's playing it, one of our other fun members, Anastacia from Brad's Red Web, had a pass.
Oh.
And she's more of the techie, that's okay. Like, yes.
We're going in and out.
A different setup than I did. So can you hear me okay?
Yeah, I can still hear you. Just occasionally the thing seizes up. Yeah, I'm like, oh.
Like, so here's got this laptop with absolutely nothing on it. It's like 2 years old, but it acts like it's from the 80s. So if I'm not on my shadow computer, then it's like, hey, I don't like you. So anyways, welcome, Anastacia. I'm glad you're here to talk. It's going to be really weird, but you're both talking, so that's okay. So yes, one of the things I wanted to do is because I really like listening to you on Brad's Red Web. I have so much from you on that show because I like comic books, but not like you guys do. And one of the things we had talked about today from watching South by is they've done a good job the past few years of really doing a broader spectrum of films that represent everything. Like we were talking more about the LGBTQ community, films of race and things like that. And like yesterday, we hit some really heavy racial movies. But nothing more than
oh god, yeah.
Don't Go Telling Your Mama. I think that's what it's called. And so I was going to have you watch it today, but you had a ticket. So I was like, why didn't you tell me? Like, we could be like reviewing things and having fun. So we had two white people yesterday reviewing this movie. So we didn't really get this one, but I think the reason I wanted to do this with you is because I think this is a very important short film about representation.
Yes.
So tell me your thoughts on this short film. For those who don't remember, it's the ABCs of Black life and culture from like a 70s perspective or something like that.
Yes.
So tell me about this film.
Okay, so the background of this thing is actually in the 70s. There was a set. It's like, you know how we had those set of books as kids where it's like you learn the ABCs by like figuring out words that associate with it. And in the 70s, they realized, oh, there's a lot of them with just a bunch of white kids. And this was one of those like earlier attempts at representation. And so you can look up the Black ABCs, and it's a lot of the same stuff, but with black kids on it. So it was one of those things where it's one of those things with representation where it's like, it's not about, it wasn't necessarily they like blacked it up or anything. Like they didn't change any of the words. It was still like A is for apple, B is for bear. But instead of the pictures being a bunch of white kids, they chose black kids instead. And it's one of those aspects of representation where it's like, yeah, even if it's not, we're going to educate you on this culture, seeing someone who looks like you represented in everyday life is cool. So yeah, this one caught me by surprise because I know I could see why people would be like, I don't know, because it's like when I jumped into it, I wasn't sure what I was getting into, but the way it's structured is they do the ABCs and they change what the ABCs represent, and each is like a little micro vignette or like a micro interview from somebody. And it's like it was one of those things where instead of it being just we're going to talk about a bunch of intense issues, it was really just like a vibe. Like it's one of those it's one of those, the plot, I guess, wasn't very important. It was just you're sitting there feeling the vibes of things, seeing all the different things and taking it in. And it's like, I wasn't sure about it at first, but by the time I got to the end, I was like, okay, I had fun. I'm having fun. It's
See,
like,
we
but
were confused by the overall message. I mean, we kind of got it, but I thought what made it work so well were the interview segments. I didn't really get
the
any
interview
other ones. Like
segments are
I
so
didn't.
good.
They were so good, and it was like the history and the forward, like the poet talking about words. I
Yeah.
loved that one. And she was what explained code
Mm-hmm.
breaker. I didn't know what the code breaker letter was because there's skit with that. I didn't understand it at all. I didn't understand amphetamine. Like there was a lot of these that I did not understand, but the message I
Oh,
got
code
from
switching, you
it
mean?
is which one? Yeah, code switching. I didn't know what
Yeah,
that was
C is
till
for
she
code switching.
explained it. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So we're watching that and didn't know till she explained it. I was like, well, that was explained also in This Is Randall, living this white life and trying to reconnect with who he is. Like they did a great job of it in that. So now I understand that. I
Mm-hmm.
wish they had done interviews so I could have understood all of what it was because some of it was very artistic interpretation, like amphetamine.
Yeah.
What the hell was that?
It,
And so I
yeah.
felt like it was a weird mix. But I thought it's an important ethnically, I mean, for lack of a better term, ethnically told representation. Like they, this guy made this. He's lived this his whole life, and he got to put it on film. And I
Mm-hmm.
like, I love that kind of stuff because I wish that were normal. I wish it would be, oh my god, Ray of the Last Dragon's got an Asian cast. Like that should just be a normal thing these days. And watching this should
Right.
be a normal thing these days. Like, and they should have had to live like that. Like code breaking
Mm-hmm.
broke my heart when I realized what it was. Like having to hide who you are. Well, then it started clicking and making sense for when I watch other things. So I really wanted to get you and see what you thought. And it
Yeah.
sounds like you overall think it was a pretty good deal.
I had fun. It's like it's one of those like people get kind of turned off by these things because this is a more editorial thing than a lot of other movies you're used to.
Uh huh.
So it's like when I came into this, it's like whenever I go to any kind of movie festival thing, I come in with the expectation like, okay, guys may not have the same budgets as a lot of big budget films. They're going to be talking about a lot of different things. It's like sometimes stuff's going to get a little zany, but I was like, oh, it's like so I wasn't coming in being like, this has to be perfect or I'm not going to enjoy it. And it's like it was a good contrast in comparison to a lot of the other stuff that we had been talking about in South by Southwest over the last couple days. Because the
Yeah.
big, I mean, it's like I know people who are seeing this have seen South by Southwest and are probably, if not here, then you've been to one at least before. The way they focused on this one is themes. So, I mean, I kind of went both ways where like half of the theme was like, oh, we're going to talk about marketing stuff. And I was like, neat. But the other half was talking more about like social issues. And it's like, I had been going to a lot of really intense pains, like, oh, we're gonna sit and talk about the Tulsa massacre and like talk to survivors about or talk to people who are like the grandchildren of the survivors of the race riots. And it's like it's one of those things where I don't follow those things very often because it's like so steeped in misery, but I have to be in the right headspace for that. And
Yeah.
this one, yes, yeah, they talked about issues, but it was, like I said, it was a vibe. Like,
So
because
you've
this
seen a
is,
bunch of sessions so far. What was your favorite
yes.
one you've seen? What was it about? And tell me about it.
Oh, my favorite one, I've been talking to my family and my friends about this one all week, is one of the ones I sat and watched was Stacey Abrams spoke Monday or Tuesday night. And it it was things where it didn't go the way I originally thought, because she still talked about organizing and some political stuff, but
Uh-huh.
it was also like she was with this really famous black sci-fi author. Like that was the person introducing her, and the first like five-ish minutes of it was the author going, "Oh my god, I'm so happy to see you. Like everybody is so excited when I said I was going to be interviewing Stacey Abrams." And then Stacey Abrams was like, "Oh yeah, it's like, by the way, everybody is happy that you're introducing me because like apparently she reads this author's books and that's like part of their current book club, and so they were just nerding out on each other the entire time, and I was like, oh, this
I
is
love that.
great.
I love
Oh, it
yeah,
had me just in tears. I loved it.
Jessica's always interested in more of the sessions, but some film and some of the tech things and the art stuff because it takes up so much time. And
It
so I was interested
does.
to hear what you had to say about some bunch of these sessions because you do a lot of tech stuff, and I didn't know that. Like, what is it you're studying to do?
Or well, my main thing is I'm going to school for fashion marketing, but my real like fun passion is mass comms. Like I like learning about social media. I like learning how this stuff works. And also like I come from a tech family. My dad was an IT for longer than I've been born. And it's like we get toys, we get doodads and stuff. So I'm a person who likes learning. So whenever they told me all this stuff was happening, I was going through each of them like there's something I can like here.
Yeah.
Just it's like I dabble in a lot of the fun stuff, and sometimes I like seeing what happens behind the curtain. So to hear
Uh-huh.
like, oh yeah, no, we have this technology about this, I was like, oh yeah, let me see, I want to see it.
Yeah, it's a lot different when you're downtown in person. Like I was trying to tell you a little bit about what we've done in the past. Like we love going to the tech finalist showcases. Those things are mind blowing. Like like I said, the mask pen that detects cancer in like 45 seconds. Like we saw the demonstration of that. Like Jessica got to wear the exosuit for workers in warehouse. Like just that stuff is amazing. And oh my god, like I would just love to see you there. Um, because it sounds like it's right up your alley. You just love to go tinker and just see these things because I think technology is
Yeah.
something that I feel at times we lose sight of because there was this
Mm-hmm.
great like generation of innovation, and now we're just kind of stuck at that point where we can make things smaller and faster, but what's the next leap? And it's fun to see
Yeah.
what the next leaps can be because it's been so long since we've had the next leap, in my opinion. Um,
Mm-hmm.
other
Yeah.
stuff
And
you can see.
I'm in a it's like
Keep
I'm in a
on.
weird delicate age too, where like I grew up learning about all these sessions. Like it's like I'm in the in between where like people were starting to get computers when I was a kid. Like I remember being in school and them teaching us keyboarding and teaching us how early days of Microsoft worked. But and so
Let
it's
me
like,
tell you, Anastacia, I had an original Atari at my neighbor's house. My neighbor had a computer with the black screen and the big floppy disk. Like, I'm old. I was there when this shit like landed. And it's been
yeah.
fun to watch this grow.
Oh
Uh,
my god, yeah. It's like my first computer I ever got in middle school is hiding around here somewhere, and I still kind of want to mess with it and turn it on and see what it's like. Like it's like that I it's like I finally got a Nintendo Switch, and I hadn't had it's like I hadn't had any sort of like handheld game console since I was like what 10, because we couldn't afford it. We couldn't afford that. And finally I had the money for it, and it's like to see that versus like turning on my old Nintendo 64, I'm like, oh Jesus, oh, I didn't
yeah,
even realize.
I
It
call
is.
Nintendo the king of gimmicks because they are very gimmicky, but sometimes those And I think the Switch paid off big time.
Oh yeah.
So other sessions you've seen that really tell me about them.
It's like, I mean, I flitted back and forth. Like I said, most of mine were either let's learn about it's like let's learn about this or let's learn about that. I think the only other it's like things stood out for different reasons. My favorite one that I sat with is called Beating Backlash Against BIPOC Women Professionals. So talking about like problems we have in the workplace and how to endure those and how to better accommodate for like women coming in the workplace. Just like my weird nerdy HR stuff. And I was like, oh, this is cool. Just that was a fun one.
I like hearing you talk about this because like I don't ever think about sessions like I said. Like I will go to the NASA ones because I fucking love NASA and they've done some amazing sessions there. But I don't really think about the wide variety of sessions for everybody. And I love hearing you talk about
there's so much
the nerdiness because we're gonna watch the Imogen Heap one. We're gonna watch the writing for games to film because that's that interesting. And the third one I have to watch is EPQ representation, the ups and downs of it. There's a panel of that happened today. So those are three that I'm going to be watching probably later Friday or Saturday because, you know, we're going to be doing this all the way through Saturday. And yeah, that's really my first experience with the panels outside of, you know, watching NASA because it's fucking NASA. You know, how you can tell them no. So yeah, I love the fact that South by can be different for everybody like you. It's the sessions. For Jessica, it's the art and film. And for me, it's film and installations. Like I love the installations, like the Beyond Good and Evil. I mean, the Good Omens Garden was super fun. The Ready Player One installation was just amazing. Got a picture with the Iron Giant in the middle of that thing. Like, yes, like, and so it's been different this year. Like, I don't know if you've ever been downtown for South by, but it's chaotic. And we like the idea of it being a hybrid of the future where you're downtown, but if you miss something, you can watch it on demand because I think that is just great this year.
Yeah. It's like, yeah, because that, I mean, when I was a kid, I could never afford South by Southwest tickets. Like, living in Austin, your only two options were to either have someone sneak in, do the free shows if you feel it, or just not go. And I opted for the not go. And they just suddenly were like, we made the tickets cheap enough, you could go. And I was like, okay. It's like, so that was also kind of where experience went, because it's like, yeah, what spoiled us this year is they have all the sessions, and it's like, yeah, you can arrange the sessions, and I tried to be good and do them like I do any other conference I have to go to, and they were like, oh yeah, no, if you miss them, you can play them back. And I was like, really? Just it's like it, but there was stuff like at the beginning of the mornings there, it's like one of the sponsors was Mountain Dew, and they do morning workouts. And so I got up early on accident the first day, and I was like, let me do the morning workout, that sounds fun. And then it's like I was so energized after that, I went to this one this morning, and they switched it up. So the first one was yoga, the second one was, oh, we're gonna do it's like, oh yeah, no, I'm a professional boxer, we're gonna do that workout. And it nearly killed me. I was like, oh.
Did you say that's sponsored by Mountain Dew?
Yes, that was it. Yeah, Mountain Dew came out with like an energy drink, and they do workout. It's like they did the workout thing, and it's so wild because the advertising's all like, we're the fancy energy drink for businessmen and athletes. And I was like, why?
I can't even fathom that being a Mountain Dew thing because it's Mountain Dew, y'all. One of the worst things for you. And let's just give them some massive credit. See if I can find it while you're talking.
Yes, it's like you can probably find it on there, but oh yeah. When I looked at the advertisements, because they were like, yeah, because the problem is they snuck it up on me, so I came across it by accident, and then the second day they were like, you want more notifications on it? I was like, sure. But when you go and find the Mountain Dew site that they do where they're advertising it, like they're showing athletes and they're showing business people, and they put that it has like immunity support on it, and it's like, as someone who doesn't drink energy drinks anymore, I was like, what? Just
So the reason why I laugh you bring up Mountain Dew is let's not forget their most recent, the Mountain Dew cookbook.
oh,
I want this so bad, just so you
oh.
know. I will have this at
It's
some point in time.
I
Oh
am
my god.
I'm a sucker for a good coffee table book. So if I saw that, I would be like, you know what? Yeah, I'll buy it.
There's a Mountain Dew grilled cheese recipe in there where you turn the cheese green.
What? That's so wild.
Yeah, so um what is your plan for the rest by?
Um, it's like it's so weird just because now that I realize I can play stuff back, I'm so much more relaxed than I'm used to being. The next one or the last two bits that come up, because I'm getting into Get Busy Shenanigans Friday, is the only two sessions I had signed up for were, there's one called Bypass Your Inner Critic in Public Speaking. So just working on it's like working on improving your public speaking skills, working on like the what is it called? The imposter syndrome. That's it.
Uh-huh.
That you feel whenever you're speaking. Just every once in a while I'm like, let me shake my life up and try that. And then it's like, I think the other main speaker was George Bush. So after that, it's like mainly I put all the main sessions at the beginning, and then at the end of it was going to be me looking at the comedy lineup and looking at the movies and trying to see what I wanted to do. Like because I saw there was a Clerks documentary that I was like, I want to see that.
Do you like Kevin Smith?
I do. He's great.
Do
He's a
you
cool
know a lot
dude.
about Kevin Smith?
It's like I know it's like I'm interested enough in him to watch the documentary, but I'm sure if I watch the documentary, it'll surprise me.
Okay, then this will be interesting because if you watch it, I want to talk to you about it because I
Okay.
know I like Kevin Smith and he's very open, so his life isn't secret. And Jessica and I
Mm-hmm.
had the same viewpoint of this, so it'll be funny. I will send you a list of movies I really think you should watch. A lot of them are just in the short
Okay.
story. We love the shorts, but one of them is Femme, Femme. I'm going to send you this one.
Okay.
Watch Soak. And then today we watched this animated movie that blew our mind. And it's called Opera.
Ooh.
And make
Ooh.
sure you have a giant screen you watch this on. That's all I'm going to tell you. So yeah, I'll send you
Will
some Facebook
do.
messages for some things to miss because we've seen them and they're really, really, really good. Uh, but yeah, no, like I'll probably ask you to come on and do some things before the weekend is out to get you on video with us more because, like I said, I love hearing you talk and you know what you're talking about, and I love it. You are, I think you're a personality, and I'm glad that you came on and joined us. Well, join Brad and us, and by extension. So
Yeah,
yeah,
it's like occasionally I pop over here too.
yeah, I think we had you on the Black Lives Matter show, which I loved,
Yes.
loved, loved, loved. You guys had so much to add to that one. But yeah,
Yeah,
okay.
I still
So
haven't finished Gone with the Wind.
I haven't even
Just
started. So yeah, I'm not even gonna lie.
it.
So y'all, that's it for our review today. Thank you, Anastacia, for coming and joining us. You can catch her every other week. Well, next week on Mondays on the Brad's Red Web. They talk about comic book culture. It's really
Tuesdays.
fun. Tuesdays.
Yeah, Tuesdays at 7.
Yeah, I don't know what you guys are doing next week because last week we did a bunch of fight choreography. We showed a bunch of videos, and that video got banned from YouTube. Like it's gone. Like it's sitting there waiting for me to cut it up and get rid of everything.
Yeah.
So I don't know how we're gonna handle next week.
I don't know. It's like for anybody who wants to see, it's like we divided it up into 2 sections. So the last one was Marvel, and the second one is DC. And yeah, when it's like we finally we sat up all night last night combing through each one of these things, trying to find ones that we were like, okay, I like this one. Just that one was such. It was such. I know. I'm hopefully WB is less of a jealous god than Disney is.
They're not. I'm just warning you right now. They're not. We've dealt with them.
It's like yeah, we're trying to. It's like we're trying to find a good workaround, even if all it is like we just like show them to them ahead of time, and we explain it or have it like playing in the background where we can see it. I remember.
Like a still image could also work. Like I was telling you guys, if you did still image from the fight, people would recognize. Oh, it's that fight.
Oh, okay. Then yeah, it's like we can probably splice something up with that. It was one of those. The problem with DC compared to Marvel, there's really not a lot of fight scenes.
Yeah,
there's not a lot of fight scenes. Yeah, it's like they're either heavily CG'd or they're kind of boring, and it's like dang.
So before we go, are you going to watch the Snyder Cut?
Yes, that is my homework tomorrow because it's like I've got to get up at 6 for something on Friday, so I'm like I'm locking myself in my room tomorrow and watching it.
Yeah, I'm probably going to try to tackle it Sunday because we have so much to get over on South by. I'm excited. I heard pretty good things about it so far. We're totally not even talking about South by anymore. You know, it's like whatever. But this is
whatever, man.
So yeah, we will be back tomorrow. Jessica and I'll do our pre-show in the morning, and we're going to get tackling some more films. We still have Witch Hunt to watch, the Oxy Kingpins. Tomorrow night is The Spine of Night, which we will definitely be watching because gory horror animation. I'm done. So yeah, I'm super excited. So if you get a chance, if you go book a ticket for The Spine of Night tomorrow, if you do film festival and just filter it to Midnighters, you'll see it. It's I don't know if there's tickets left, but it's been one of the most talked about films because of just how heavy it is. And so yeah, I'm all about those things. So that's it for tonight.
I'm down. As much money as those tickets are.
Yeah, go see a ticket to it. But yeah, I'll send you some things on Facebook Messenger to look for. And like I said, I'd like to have you back on Friday, Saturday if you're free. Just let me know. I've done this. I'd like to come talk about this. Come talk about it with us.
Okay.
Whatever you end up watching, yeah, it's gonna be a lot of fun. And I'm glad you're totally surprised. Like, oh, I got a ticket. I was like, what? I did like, yeah. So that's it. We'll be back tomorrow with more South. Right now, Jessica is streaming over on her Twitch channel. They're playing Among Us. I was over there watching a little while ago, and she had lots of technical problems. Because, of course, when you're trying to do something, the best laid plans, something is going to erupt. I cannot even tell you how many times that has happened to us. So, again, for being on and just being awesome. And I will see you guys tomorrow, Jessica, and you'll see maybe Anastacia later on this week as we wrap up our South by Southwest coverage.